you want to curl up into a ball. You don't even care where you are. You want to curl into a ball and just stay there. It is okay. It is A-okay. I'll also be the one to say this. To drop friendships. Females suck. I'll say it. They do. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Someone had to say it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Boys can suck too.
Welcome to the Alyssa and Julian Podcast.
I'm Alyssa, and this is the Alyssa and Julian Podcast. Another solo episode for you guys. Julian is not here with me today, so you just get the Alyssa part of this duo podcast. And like I've promised and mentioned, I'm going to say it always. If you're not following our socials, definitely follow us on Instagram, both the Alyssa and Julian and the Alyssa and Julian Podcast. Both are definitely linked down below in the description. We post a lot, especially on the podcast one. I try to, regarding the podcast. So I had posted twice to send little topics about a girl talk. So that is what we're doing today. But before we get into this episode, I'm still going to do our normal intro, intentions, streaming platforms. So intentions for this week. I can't emphasize it enough how much I need to plan. Lately, I've been, not even me, because I had a solo episode, but I think Julian was in one of the last episodes as well. I know we also just skipped a week because everything's been kind of crazy lately. I don't know why. Oh my God, I keep recording these. My last solo podcast, we recorded it on Sunday. The podcast with Julian recorded on Sunday. We used to record on Thursdays. So recording it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days later kind of throws off the whole week because I don't have the little in between to edit. We literally record on Sundays lately, and this podcast goes up Monday at 10 a.m. And I know one of the recent ones, I usually have Mondays off and I like to see it go up. I like to post the Instagram stories, all that stuff. One of the recent uploads, I actually worked on that Monday, so it made it even more difficult. So life has just been throwing a lot of curveballs lately, but I literally planned this last night. I should have recorded it last night, but I didn't. So we're recording it. It is 8 p.m. on a Sunday. Just for reference for all this. So it turns out to be like literally record. Julian gets it on the computer and I have to edit to get it scheduled for tomorrow morning. So it's basically just like a record, edit, upload situation. It's kind of stressful. I don't know. It's a whole big thing. This one you guys might actually hear a little late. I don't know if this is still going to go up on Monday. If it does, it's definitely not at 10 a.m. if you're listening to this and it just came out. It's might be 10 a.m. your time. We post at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I can tell you it is not 10 a.m. Eastern time. I don't know what time it is. I don't know when it's posted. It might even be posted on Tuesday. So if you're listening to this on Tuesday, happy 4th. It is the 4th of July for us. I know all the time zones from all you guys is crazy and literally all over the world. So I don't know what time it is or day it is for you, but happy 4th. This is also recorded 2 days before the 4th. I don't think we have any plans. Okay, but that's besides the point. So plan. I need to plan for this podcast for it to actually maybe be recorded earlier in the week before the weekend because it gets really crazy. It might even have to be recorded not Thursday, maybe a couple days before. I don't really know. Either that or you guys just might end up having to hear a couple more solo episodes. I might have to just record, pre-record maybe some solo episodes. That way, if Julian and I can't record, at least a podcast episode is still going up for you guys and we're a little more prepared. Let me know if that'll be okay, if you guys are okay with hearing solo episodes, because we're doing this for you guys. Like, we need your input as well. But I also want to plan for my channel. I actually kind of vlogged last night, just a random night in my lifestyle vlog. I don't even know if there's enough content to make it a vlog. It was so spur of the moment, so I don't even know if you're going to see the video. I probably shouldn't even have mentioned this, but you may or may not see a new video coming. If I have enough content and think it's okay for you guys, you'll see it. If not, I'm sorry. I'll try it again. Maybe when I plan and actually have stuff going on during the night. I don't know. But I need to plan for my channel because I don't even know what to record. And I've been in those weird, like, I want to pick up a camera and record, but like, what am I recording? I don't know. So I need to do a lot of planning. Just moral of the intention, I need to plan a lot. Streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Google Podcast. Because Julian is not here, I have to say it again. I actually almost just forgot to say it because I'm so used to him saying it. Anywhere you find your streaming platforms. We're also here on YouTube. Alyssa and Julian Podcast. Ooh, Alyssa and Julian Podcast. You can watch the podcast if you'd rather do that. Anywhere you find your streaming platforms, if you want to hear us while you're doing a little task in the background. So yeah, we are going to girl talk today. We're going to girl talk it up. Little mini subjects, I guess, about girl talk. I asked on Instagram for you guys to send in little things we could talk about. I did get a variety of stuff. I can tell you the little like subtopics we're going to talk about. The first one is actually kind of interesting. I wasn't even thinking of this type of like girl talk when I asked for these, and I'm kind of happy that you guys thought of stuff that I didn't. This one is being a girl in the YouTube industry. I thought that was very interesting. We have periods, red flags for relationships, growing into womanhood, shaving, friendships. Yeah, those are going to be the little mini subjects. So without further ado, we're just going to get on into it. So being a girl in the YouTube industry, like I said, I thought this was very interesting because when I thought of like the girl talk, like TMI girl talk, you see a lot of people actually make YouTube videos about this when they're doing a little like chit chat, get ready with me, or they do like a you're too afraid to ask someone else type of situation. I think of like the periods and the shaving and like, I don't know, all that womanhood stuff. I never thought of like this, like YouTube, like girl YouTube. I don't know why that like intrigued me so much. I actually had to sit and think about an answer for this one. So I don't know, the little time that I've been on YouTube, being a girl in the YouTube industry is really, I don't know, I think it's really fun. I think it's really interesting. You see a lot of people become friends through the internet, which I think is super cool because like, I don't know, I feel like you see a lot of like hating, judging, girl on girl type of, oh, that sounded weird. Like girls judging other girls. You do it, it's been done. Everyone's either done it, someone hates you for no reason, like all that fun stuff. Being a girl, yeah, not the funnest at times, but I feel like you see a lot of people vlogging about, I don't know, meeting up with someone they met through YouTube. They talked a little bit. They became friends. They find out they live in the same area. They become really good friends. They literally travel the world together. Like, that's crazy. Like, I need a friend like that. Someone be my friend. Anyways. I feel like vlogs are fun. Like I'm sure guys have really fun vlogs, and if they're more like Daredevil, I feel like a lot of guys like to do crazy things in their vlogs. I feel like girls can literally have more of like a laid back vibe type of vlog, if that makes sense. And a lot of other female viewers love it. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I've watched so many girls who kind of like, they don't go like, I don't want to say above and beyond or like over the top in their vlogs. They just kind of have like a chill vlog or a chill like sit down, let's talk about blah 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 type vibe, and it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I feel like when everyone cares about anything you're doing in your life, it kind of hits like a whole different side, and you're like, oh my god, like someone cares, someone's noticing this, or someone wants to see me do this. I don't know why, but like I'm gonna give them that content. Like, I don't know what it is. It's a really fun vibe, and I love watching, I don't know, just females get along with each other and like vibe and bond, and a friendship like that can come out of literally nowhere over the internet. Like, the internet could be a scary place, but also a crazy place at the same time. Like, really fun, really, I don't know, like you just see friendships happen over the internet so much, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's really amazing if you ask me. That's kind of really all I had in this subject. Like I said, it took me kind of by surprise, so I had to kind of think of it. I'm sure I'll eventually think of something else that I probably should have said, but, ooh, that sounded weird. Periods. If you know, you know. They suck. They're awful. They're the worst thing that you can go through as a female. Honestly, there probably shouldn't even be much more to say about that, but I don't even know. I don't understand the concept. I don't understand why we have to go through so much pain for like a week every month. Like, it's basically, you know, everyone says it's basically like a congrats. If you're old enough, if you're, I don't even want to say like above age, because like what is the actual age? If you're above the age, congrats. You didn't get pregnant, but you have to be in such awful pain for this next week that you don't even want to get out of bed, but like you have to go to work, or you have to go to school, or you have to like live life. Like, you literally have something going on that could be so important, or you have to go to school, or you have to stand on your feet for 8 hours during a job. Meanwhile, you're hurting from the inside. Like, you want to curl up into a ball. You don't even care where you are. You want to curl into a ball and just stay there until it goes away. Like, just have people like walk over you, be like, don't mind JJ in the background. You want to be like, don't mind me. Just leave me here. Literally, just leave me here. I am a type of, I have to take something to get rid of the pain. I've found that 3 ibuprofens with some water or a hot drink is the way to go. I would say, they say a lot of no caffeine, no soda, I guess coffee, because coffee has caffeine. Yeah, I'm not the type that can just not have caffeine. I literally will get the worst caffeine withdrawal headache because I'm an addict at this point. I don't really know. I have to have some type of caffeine. I would say I have to have coffee. I actually haven't had coffee lately, which is kind of really surprising for me. But that just means that I have to have a soda, like at least one in a day. I understand it's not going to help me with the cramps and all that's happening, but I can't just go and not have caffeine during the day. Like, that is not a thing. Just thinking of that, I'm just like, how? Like, if you can actually do that and know that it helps with your body better to not be having this stuff during that time, honestly, like, props to you. I don't know. I don't know how you do it. I definitely cannot, and I don't. Not me. I have to take my ibuprofen, let it kick in. Sometimes, I'm sorry if this gets like TMI, but like, this is kind of what we were going into when you signed up to let me do this episode. I don't know. I have to let it kick in. Normally, if I feel like the slightest bit of a cramp coming on, pop 3 ibuprofens and just honestly pray. Most of the time it works, but pray that it kicks in before like you actually cramp really bad. Sometimes it doesn't, and you have to sit there through the pain until it finally kicks in and goes away. But sometimes it will actually kind of not make them come as strong as they normally do. I know some people, like, everyone's different. Everyone is different. Some people get them really, really, really bad. Some people get them bad. Some people are like, and like some people don't get it at all. If you're one of the people that don't get it at all, like cramp wise, just know, I don't want to say I despise you, but I'm very jealous. I wish, honestly. But sometimes I can knock them out and not get them, thankfully, like not as bad, at least. Not at all. I wish. But honestly, during that week, honestly, just the first couple of days, but heating pad becomes my new best friend on full blast. I have to plug it in and I'll turn it up all the way, let it heat up before I like either sleep on top of it, well, lay on top of it. I'm kind of scared to go to sleep with a heating pad. I feel like it's going to like burn me. Even though it like auto shuts off, I think after like, I don't know, X amount of time. I have to lay with it and it'll like eventually put me to sleep. I either have to lay on top of it because I like to sleep on my stomach a lot. I'm definitely a belly sleeper sometimes. So laying on top of the heating pad definitely helps because like it's just right on the pain. Or if I lay on my back, I have to put it on my stomach with like covers over it. Doesn't help as much, but gets the job done. I used to honestly have to, like, I would wake up in the middle of the night and like not be able to go back to bed because I had such bad cramps that I would have to, like, I would take the heating pad and go downstairs and lay on the couch so that way I didn't bother Julian sleeping. And like if he woke up, he would just know where to find me. But I had to do that because, oh my God, it for a couple hours in the morning, every time, never failed. I could probably call it by routine. It would happen. I would wake up. Oh, it'd be so bad. I'd go downstairs, plug it in, lay on the couch, and it'd be hard to fall back asleep, but I'd have to just lay with the heating pad until it finally like was calming down a little bit for me to be able to fall back asleep. Actually, funny story about a heating pad. I got the heating pad that I currently have one night at Walmart with Julian because I was at his house on my period. Worst cramps. Oh my God, my stomach hurt so bad. And I had said something, I think, about like, I wish I had one or something. Or like one would be nice right now or something. I might have had one like at my house, but I was at Julian's apartment when he was living on his own at the time. And he offered to go to take a ride to Walmart to buy one. And I was like, really? Like, are you serious? So we literally went to Walmart. He literally insisted on buying it. I think I bought it because I was like, no, like, I don't know. I feel bad. I didn't want him buying it. But he insisted on trying to buy it. And I was like, oh, this was literally like almost when we first started dating. So like, it was just those little moments where you're like, oh, but, yeah. So he literally drove to Walmart so we can buy one that night because like my stomach hurt so bad. And this was one of the moments where like I had taken medicine, but it hadn't kicked in. So like I was still feeling like so much pain and I was trying to like push it off and just wait for it to finally kick in and like be able to relax and blah, blah, blah. But it just wasn't like, like I swear sometimes it has that effect where it can literally ruin your plans. Like it ruins everything you have because it's just trying to kill you from the inside. I swear it hurts so bad. But yeah, so we went to Walmart, bought one, and it's one of the ones where it has the like 3 heating, whatever you want to call it, like as low, medium, and then a high. It has the side, like one side where it's like just fabric, but the other side's like fuzzy. So that's what it also feels really good. It makes it warm and it's fuzzy and it like feels like, I wish it was like a really big blanket. But yeah. Ooh. That's probably a good investment if you have a heated blanket. Oh my God. I've never had a heated blanket before, so like I wouldn't know. But I'm sure having a heated blanket during that time, if you like cuddle up in that, oh my God, that probably works literal wonders. Huh. I wish I thought about this sooner. I could have had a really good investment in my life. Okay, anyways. Another thing I've noticed that I'll tend to, I guess, drink more during that time is tea. If I'm on my way to work, I'll stop at Dunkin', get some tea, make a tea at home during the night. I do like my teas rather sweet during this time. That's one thing I will do better with myself, I guess, is I wouldn't put like as much sugar in the tea because I'm not drinking it honestly for taste, I guess you'd say. I'm drinking it more for like the comfort of the warmth of like, if you drink tea, you know, like sometimes when you drink it, it hits your stomach just right, that like the warmth actually is like soothing. It also depends on the type of tea, but it's soothing and it helps and it can work wonders sometimes. So if you haven't tried, drink a cup of tea, like hot tea. It's gonna burn your mouth in the process, but like the outcome, worth it. So I will have a cup of tea, maybe 2, I don't know, during that time when I'm kind of hunched over and I'm in a blanket in my bed and just, oh my God, tea and a heating pad. Best friends. So with that being said, getting, that time of the month is basically growing into womanhood almost. That's when you're really starting to become a woman. I guess you could say, honestly, this time is probably going to be such an awkward time. I know a lot of people have that, like, not horror, but like first period story. I first got mine when I was in middle school. What grade was I in? I think I was in 7th grade. I honestly don't really remember. 8th grade maybe? I might have been in 8th grade. I don't know. I just know I was in middle school and I got mine, but like I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was going on. It was so awkward. I was like, I don't know what's going on in my body. You go through like, I don't know if they still call it DARE, like health class, like that type of thing. You'll learn about it. But I know when I think when I first went through that, like I hadn't had it yet. So you're learning about it, but like your body hasn't gone through it. So you really don't know like kind of what they're talking about. It's a very interesting concept because they're teaching you all these things. Like I said, that like you haven't personally gone through. Some people have, some people haven't. Like I said, everyone is different. So it kind of depends on you. I know like I said, when I first learned about this stuff, your girl hadn't had anything yet. So I was like, yeah, I get that it does that, and that, but like, what? So when I finally got it, it was so weird. And I know I got it also one time during the summer before I really was like, this is a period. I got it in the summer, and of course my family wanted to go swimming, and I was like, I'm not going swimming. I'm literally in like sweatpants and a hoodie, like one of those like track jumpsuit type situations at a park, sweating, literally sweating, because I was having my period, but like not knowing that what was going on. So I'm like doing all this stuff and they're like, come swimming. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't really want to. I'm fine. Yeah, no, I'm just hanging out. Yeah. The most awkward experience of my life. And then I finally had talked to my mom and she was like, that's your period, sweetie. Like that type of situation. And yeah, I can tell you when I first got it and like not knowing how to control everything, like emotions and everything, biggest B word on the planet. Total grump, in such a bad mood because I was in so much pain, not realizing like what to take to control the symptoms, I guess, like the pain and the feeling nauseous sometimes when it's really bad, like all that stuff. Like I didn't know what to do. So you're just gonna like react. Like you're gonna react. You don't really care what's going on. This is how you're feeling. You're over it. Blah, blah, blah. I also remember I got it at Six Flags when we went to Six Flags one year. This was before I had discovered and learned what tampons were. So at first, my young self was using pads because that's what my mom had taught me to use. So you're using pads. So using those, you can't swim with those. You can't swim. Like you can't put that in your, yeah, it doesn't work. So I had to go to Six Flags and not be able to swim, which also sucked because it was in the middle of the summer. Definitely really hot. You definitely want to get in the water, but you're also like really self-conscious because you don't want anyone to know that you're on it, but like you're also really sweating and dying and you have to just sit there by yourself because everyone else is having a good time in the pool and you cannot. So it wasn't until high school. I don't remember what year. Honestly, probably like freshman, sophomore year, like early high school. I started using tampons, which kind of made life a lot more easier for me because pads to me were just really uncomfortable. So being able to use a tampon kind of made it a little more like it's uncomfortable, but like I'm a little more comfortable, you know? So during that time, like I definitely had a lot of questions that you're just kind of too, I don't know, I don't want to say embarrassed, but too afraid to ask and talk about. Honestly, looking back, I wish I wasn't. It's something that you're going through. It's what your body's going to do. It's what every girl's body does. Every girl goes through the same thing. So don't be afraid to ask questions. You have to know what's going on with yourself. You have to understand your body. You need to kind of learn yourself, learn what's going on, what you can do during that time to help yourself out. A lot of people are going to give advice and all this stuff, but like you're the only one that really knows your own body, so you can take what they're giving you but kind of figure it out on your own. I wouldn't have known what I can do for my cramps, like the 3 ibuprofen, like I said, if I hadn't, I don't know, tried. You can Google it. Like you can, like I said, every woman goes through the same thing, so every woman knows kind of what you're going through. Like I said, everyone is different, but they know basis what you're going through. So I would say nothing should be too embarrassing to ask another female because, especially if they're older than you, we've already been going through it. We've had it happen. That awkward first period story, we've already been through it. Like we can help you out. The nurses in schools will help you out. I know mine in high school one day because I needed a tampon really bad and didn't have one. Hooked your girl up. They give you, they gave me like a mint. They say mint really helps with your stomach sometimes too. Wouldn't have known that if I didn't go to the nurse. So I know sometimes I tried mints too to help with like stomach aches and whatnot. Fun fact, they do really help. Keeps them on you. I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't know. Just moral of that is nothing's too awkward. Don't make it awkward. It doesn't have to be awkward. We're all gonna help each other out, you know? Girls helping each other out. That's what we try to be here for. Shaving. Another annoying concept as a female. You feel me? Oh my God. I don't know what it is. Like, going through the process is such a hassle. Like, do I want to? No, I'm lazy. I don't want to. But the feeling afterwards, you know, when everyone says, you see those memes, you see it literally all over the internet. When you shave and you get into bed, you get into clean sheets, just the feeling itself is such an amazing feeling. Like, fresh shaved legs, yes, amazing. Did I want to stand there in the shower for 10 extra minutes to shave my whole body? No, not really. But as a female, we get to that point where it's, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Am I right? I feel like you also have to, okay, so in the winter, you can hide it a little more, you know? You could wear those sweatpants. No one's gonna know that you haven't shaved in like a week. As disgusting as that probably sounds, if you're a guy listening to this and you're really uncomfortable, I'm so sorry. I think I've mentioned it before that I can go as deep into a conversation as you want. And considering the fact that I'm doing this alone makes it, I don't want to say a little worse, but like a little worse, because I'll just sit here and talk. I'll just keep talking. I'll probably reach a point where I'm like, okay, I shouldn't have gone that far. Too late. I already said it. So if you're a guy watching this and you're really uncomfortable and you're like, wow, I didn't think she'd go that far. Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. But no one's going to know that you've shaved in a week when you're wearing those comfy sweatpants and that matching big hoodie and you're super comfy. It's so cold outside and now you're like bundled in warmth. No one's going to know. Only you know. And honestly, at that point, you're probably okay with it. Having to actually get to that point where you're like, all right, I got to shave my legs. It's tricky sometimes. Like, as a female, you don't want to. I'll say it if you won't. You don't want to. It's not fun. It's not a good time. No, I don't want to do it. But you have to stand there in the shower and, you know, just, you got to do it. You got to do it. Honestly, in the summer, it makes it a little more challenging because you still don't want to. There's never really a time where you want to. Personally, I guess I'll make that a personal statement. You never really want to. But in the summer, like, where are you hiding it? You're not wearing sweatpants outside because it's like 90 degrees and you're sweating. You have to wear shorts and probably a tank top. And you have to do it. You have to get it done. And sometimes you have to plan your outfits around shaving. Like, you're not just gonna be like, okay, well, no, you probably will. You'll be like, okay, well, that's okay for now. I'm gonna wear these shorts. I'm not that bad. You can't really see it, especially if you are lucky enough to have like blonde hairs and no one can really see it. You're blessed, honestly. But sometimes you have to be like, okay, well, tomorrow I'm going out. Like, I'm going to an event or I'm going to someplace. I don't know. And you have to plan your outfits. You have to be like, okay, tonight in the shower, I need to shave because tomorrow I'm going to be wearing this cute dress or these cute shorts with this cute top. I'm going to go here. I need to, I don't know, feel good. Like, you want to feel good in your body. So you have to stand there in the shower the night before or in the morning of, whenever you have time, to literally, like, it's going to be one of those showers where it's an everything shower. You shaved, you washed your hair, you washed your face, cleaned your body, like everything. You all have that shower sometimes where it's just, I don't know what it's called. We're going to call it an everything shower. Everything gets done in that shower. Granted, you feel really good, especially if it's after a long day and you shower right before you're going to bed. Oh, you're probably going to have the best sleep of your life. Even though you didn't want to do that one annoying thing, you did it, and now you're like, wow. You probably talk yourself into being like, okay, like, it's not that bad. I can do this like every other day, and then like that every other day comes and you're like, Never mind. Yeah. Between periods and shaving, being a female, rough. Rough. That's when we say the guys kind of have it sometimes. But we get things done. We work our way through it. It's great. So, what's next? We've gone through a lot of topics. I feel like I'm literally just babbling. I feel like I've said this literally in almost one breath. I've also feel like I've said literally and like I said a million times during this episode. I'm so sorry. But I'm hoping you guys are keeping up. I'm hoping this is a great episode. I'm sorry if it's farther and more TMI than you thought, but I don't know. I feel like we just had to have this conversation, you know? Like we just had to sit here and talk about it. I don't know who you want to talk about it with. I know some people get really nervous and uncomfortable, and some people, I guess like I can be, are an open book. So maybe you've been needing to have this conversation. You just didn't know who to have it with. But hello, I'm here for you. I'm here for this situation. Find me literally on any social media. We could talk about anything. Anyways, friendships. This topic, I also forgot the D in friendships over here. I have this piece of paper that I found on the kitchen table yesterday. So I started writing on the back of it to plan this podcast episode. So I haven't written it in my notebook. Like I said, I need to plan. I don't think I've seen that notebook in like 3 weeks. It's really bad because if you know me, like my notebooks and my planners are my life. I need to plan in them. Haven't touched a notebook or, oh my God, probably a planner in like a month. That's so sad. Friendships. This topic, as I was saying, hits a whole nother level sometimes. You know, listening to this, you know, female friendships can be awful sometimes. Straight awful. And I'll admit it. If you don't want to, you can keep it to yourself. I'll admit it. I'm a very big judge of character for females sometimes. I can be really like, I'm going to scope you out. I'm going to be very skeptical. Honestly, I'm probably going to hate you at first. I probably do hate a lot of people at first. If I actually become friends with you, congrats. I like you. Let's be friends. Yeah, becoming friends with females is really hard. It can be really hard for another female. I don't know. Being a female, becoming friends with guys sometimes can be a lot easier. As weird as that sounds, a lot of females do have a lot of male friends because females suck. I'll say it. They do. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Someone had to say it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Boys can suck too. But like, I don't know. Females with females, it could just be awful sometimes. Awful. You have to watch who you become friends with. That's for any type of friendship. I'm not even going to base that just as a female, like girl talk. That's for any type of friendship. You have to watch what they do, watch what they say to you versus behind your back, what they do in certain situations. If you show up really excited, you're really excited to talk about this one thing, blah, 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 you're into it and da-da-da, and they just kind of like brush it off, or they're like, yeah, nice. And you're like, okay, like, it's just kind of rude. So you have to watch kind of who you're vibing with and who you're not vibing with. It is okay. It is a-okay. I'll also be the one to say this, to drop friendships. A lot of people are scared to not be friends with someone because either A, they're in their circle and they think that everyone else is going to drop them if they drop this one person, or I don't know. It is okay to drop a friend, honestly, who's not really being a friend to you. It happens. If they're not being good to you, you don't need them. Like, you really don't need them. You kind of can notice little things, and some people like to brush it off and say, oh, but they do a lot of good, or they do a lot of this. Sometimes that stuff outweighs, or wait, what? Sometimes like that stuff can't outweigh the other stuff they're doing to you. Like, sometimes the good cannot outweigh the bad. Like, you have to realize the bad and notice that the bad is really bad sometimes. And if they're not good for you, they're really not being good to your mental health. And that is what you have to watch for, my friend. If it's not good, if that friendship is not good for your mental health, you do not need it. I don't even know how to emphasize that enough. Your mental health comes first. It has to. It literally has to. Because if that person is bashing on the one thing you love, or not paying attention, or I don't know, they really don't care about this certain thing, but everything's all about them and blah, blah, blah. You don't need that friendship, because then they're going to talk about all this stuff. And if roles were reversed and it was doing the same thing, like they were talking about this one thing they're really excited for, they love and blah, 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 and you did that to them, it would be the end of the world. It would literally be the end of it. Like, they would be so upset and so hurt, and they'd be talking all these mean things to you, like, how come you can't understand, or why don't you just care, and blah, blah, blah. But if they do it to you, like, it's no problem. It's such a backwards thing sometimes. It needs to stop. You don't need them. You don't need them. It's kind of the same thing in relationships. You kind of have to watch who, I don't even know how to word it. You have to watch who you're dating, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes you won't see it in the beginning, but if you do see it, like, don't ignore it. If that makes sense. You could see something and be like, oh, like, that was kind of weird, but keep it in the back of your mind, because you have to watch, like, the little things, like the little minor red flags. I can't really think of an example right now. I would give you an example if I could think of one. I'll probably think of one like after this episode and be like, oh, wow, that's what I should have said. I don't know. If you can't seem to trust them, honestly, this goes for the friendship too, like friendship, relationship. You have to watch how they react to you. You have to watch what you tell them and what they do with that information. That's very important, because a lot of people, like, they'll take what you say, they'll have a great conversation, but they'll be telling your business to people who don't really need to know it, or they'll be telling your business when it's really your business to share. Like, it's your information to share, but they're going to go around telling all these people, and then by the time you end up telling someone or all this stuff, and they either ruin it and do like a, oh yeah, I already know, or something, you're kind of just bummed and disappointed. But a lot of people are also gonna like play it off and be like, oh wow, and like react to you, but like you can kind of tell it's not genuine. It's kind of upsetting. You have to watch, like I said, how people react to you and what you're telling them. I don't know. Some people need to learn and know the boundary of like what's between you guys and like what can be shared, if that makes sense. I feel like that goes a lot in relationships when you're telling someone something and it's like your relationship, but they end up saying something to someone, I don't know, another friend, what you really didn't want shared. And then you kind of feel like, I don't know, like it's basically gets to a point where like it's not just you and them in that relationship anymore. Like it's you, them, and this person, or you, them, and that person. And sometimes it just feels like you and like the whole world. Like you, them, and the whole world are in a relationship. Like it's not really like you and them anymore, which kind of, I don't know, could ruin the vibe. Like you don't feel like you can tell them the same or tell them as much. It just doesn't seem the same anymore. I don't really know how to explain it, but I don't know. It gets kind of upsetting. You don't like the whole vibe. I don't know. I feel like you also have to listen to what other friends, this I guess could also go back to friendships and relationships, not just one or the other. What other friends in the friend group are saying to you about someone when that person is not around. I feel like it kind of shows their true colors. You kind of have to pay attention to if they're saying this about someone, but it's because they're not there. They would never say that to that person's face, or they'll never admit it to that person. You kind of have to keep that in mind, because even though they're doing it to that just one person for now, they could also be doing it to you, and you'll never know. Or you'll find out later by so-and-so, they'll mention to you that so-and-so said this and blah, blah, blah. But to your face, it's a complete like 360 or 180, I guess. And they'll be saying the complete opposite to you. They'll be going, yeah, like that top looks great. It looks really good on you. You really pull it off. I think you should get it. I think you should wear it. That's you. And then you get the top. Say you're at the mall. You're shopping with your friends. You get the top. Next thing you know, so-and-so saying that the other so-and-so is, oh, that top looked awful on her. I don't know why she got it. Oh, she should have realized that she did not look good in that, blah, blah, blah. But to your face, it was the complete opposite situation. I don't know. Like I said, females can be awful sometimes. They're really annoying. They suck. Ugh. Anyways. Yeah, you just kind of have to pay attention. You really have to watch what's going on. Like I said, I'm going to emphasize this one. If the friendship is not okay, it's not good for you, it's not good for your mental health, you're not really vibing with that person, you kind of realize like, oh, I'm not really good friends with her, like she only needs me for this and this, but we never really do anything else, blah, blah, blah. Drop the friendship. Drop it. You don't need them. You'll be okay. You'll find new friends. You'll make new friends through school. You're going to make a million friends. You might not talk to the person you were friends with in elementary school when you get to high school. That's okay. Some people do. Some people don't. You make a really good friend in middle school. Come sophomore, junior year in high school, they don't want to talk to you. It's okay. It might be weird and hurt if it's not, like if it's them dropping you, if that makes sense, in the meantime. But you kind of get over it. You'll make new friends. You'll have a whole new friend group. By the end of high school, you'll be okay. You go to college, whole new friends. I hear stories. I didn't go to college, so like I can't relate to this personally. I've heard a lot of stories of people going to college, and when they come home for the holidays, they actually really want to go back to school because of the friends they made there. Like you'll still be friends with people from your hometown who you went to school with, but you're going to go to college and you're going to make a whole nother group of friends from literally all over the world, because people go to school all over the place. It's going to be amazing. You're going to see what that does for you, and you realize that the friend you dropped or the friend that dropped you, you're making it through without them. You're doing it. You're killing it. But with that being said, I think that's all I have for our fun little girl talk today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you want to see, or not if you want to see it, because this is the Alyssa and Julian podcast, I'd rather have the podcast with Julian, but say I can't. Let me know if you guys would be okay with more solo episodes. If you are, let me know what episodes we should have with just me and you and I hope you guys enjoyed me babbling. I feel like I said I've done this in like one breath. I can't believe we're already at the end of this episode. I feel like I just started. But question of the week. Oh my God, I almost forgot. I kind of have a random episode, I have a random question, I should say. I was going to ask what your favorite song was at the moment, just random favorite song. But then I thought about it and I was like, no, well, you can answer that if you want. I'm looking for new music, always down to vibe to new songs. Let me know what your favorite song is. But also, let me know what your favorite like girl power song is. I don't know what mine is. I'd have to look. Like, I'd have to go through music and be like, what's a girl power song? If you have one, let me know what it is. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching here on YouTube, leave everything down in the comments below. If you're listening, 5-star review, please. We love you. We'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys for coming to my solo TED Talk. We'll see you next time. Bye.